Mr. Dylan was born on May 24, 1941, in Duluth, Maine, and grew up in Hibbing. He played in bands as a teenager, influenced by the folk musician Woody Guthrie, the authors of the Beat Generation and modernist poets. Mr. Dylan, whose original name is Robert Allen Zimmerman, identifies as Christian and has released several albums of religiously inspired songs, but he was born into a Jewish family. The critic Greil Marcus, one of the foremost scholars of Mr. Dylan's work, has examined the influence on his music of Harry Smith's Anthology of American Folk Music, the 1952 compilation that was pivotal to the folk revival in the United States. Mr. Dylan first heard the anthology in 1959 after he had dropped out of the University of Minnesota. He moved to New York in 1961 and began to perform in clubs and cafes in Greenwich Village. The following year, he signed a contract with the record producer John Hammond for his debut album, Bob Dylan 1962. He was only 22 when he performed at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, singing When the Ship Comes In, with Joan Baez, and Only a Pawn in Their Game, the retelling of the murder of the civil rights activist Medgar Evers, before the Rev. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his I Have a Dream speech. As the 60s wore on, Giles Hardy wrote in the New York Review of Books in 2010, Dylan grew increasingly frustrated with what he came to regard as the pious sloganeering and doctrinaire leftist politics of the folk milieu. He began writing the kind of visionary nonsense verse, in which the rough, ribald, lawless America of the country's traditional folk music collided with a surreal ensemble of characters from history, literature, legend, the Bible, and many other places besides. Mr. Dylan's many albums, which the Swedish Academy described as having a tremendous impact on popular music, include Bringing It All Back Home and Highway 61 Revisited 1965, Blonde on Blonde 1966, and Blood on the Tracks 1975, Oh Mercy 1989, Time Out of Mind 1997, Love and Theft 2001, and Modern Times 2006.